Okay, hello everyone. Welcome back to our next video lesson. We're going to call this project Intro to the Switch Statement Part 3. And what I'd like to do is to create a program that allows the user to enter a number that represents one of the lyrics for the 12 Days of Christmas. If the user enters the number 5, say for example, then we'll display the 5th lyric and then the 4th all the way down to the 1st lyric, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and create some declarations. So let me click over here. And in terms of declarations, first of all, I need the user number. And then I'm also going to ask if the user wants to try again. So I'll say try again. In the previous lecture, I think I had yes or no. Well, I'm showing you that it really doesn't matter. Whatever the character variable is, we're going to use that. All right. Now, in our previous video lessons, we've been using the while statement. But you're not fixed to the while statement. We can use any other statement that's a repetition structure. For example, why don't we try working with the do while statement. The do while statement says you are going to do this over and over and over again based on the criteria. Now, recall that the do while structure, repetition structure, will do the loop body guaranteed one time, and whether it happens a second or third or fourth time, well, that's going to be based on the users. It's going to be based on a variable or a post-test situation. So what I'll do is over here at the end of that do while structure, we'll say while try again is either lowercase y or while try again is uppercase y. Now, here's the thing about the do while statement. Make sure that you put a semicolon over there. Typically, you would not put a semicolon on a while statement. For the do while statement, yes, you do have to put a semicolon right there. All right, so now let's go ahead and obtain the user input. So we're going to send a statement to the user, say cout, enter the lyric number. Let's get that from the user, and we're going to put that into the variable called user_num. At this point, you're ready to perform your calculation and your output. So I have my two comments over here. I think what I'll do is I'll simply just cut, I should say, and paste into here. And I'll just simply say and output. So we're going to perform some sort of a calculation and generate an output at this section right here. All right, once again, we're going to use the switch statement. Now the switch that we are considering is the user number. Based on that user number, what are we going to do? Well, if the case is that the user entered the number 12, press enter, then I want to see out the statement 12 drummers drumming. Now, I don't remember these lyrics. So you can just simply go to a website. Like over here, I went to a website, typed in what are the lyrics for the 12 Days of Christmas, and so I have them right here. So these are the lyrics that we are going to display based on what the user entered. Now, I don't want to put a break statement like I have in the previous video lessons. Instead, now let's just go ahead and consider what is the case for number 11. Well, the case for number 11 is that we have the next lyric, which is 11 pipers piping. And again, I'm going to go to the beginning of the next line. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and paste to save myself some typing here. So I'll just simply select these two lines right here, copy and then paste. And then I'll just simply double click that to make it a 10. And then double click this and drag. So I'm going to say 10 lords a-leaping. I'll place my cursor over here, copy and paste, or I should say paste. That's going to be for 9. Well, when the user presses the number 9, that's going to be 9 ladies dancing. The 8th lyric, get rid of this, is 8 maids a-milking. For the 7th day, select all that. That's going to be 7 swans swimming. And then for the 6th day, we have 6 geese laying. This is, of course, the famous one. Everyone knows what happens on the 5th day of Christmas. So we're going to say 5 golden rings. And for this one, we say 4 calling birds. This is going to be 3 French hens. This next one is going to be 2 turtle doves. All right, so you're taking care of every single one of the possibilities, but we have to consider what happens if the user enters the number 1 right from the beginning, as opposed to the number 2. If they entered the number 2, then we want to say 2 turtle doves and a partridge in a pear tree. But what if the user enters 1? We don't want to say and a partridge in a pear tree because they entered the number 1. So if they entered the number 1, we just want to display a partridge in a pear tree. So we have to be careful here what happens if the case is 1. So let's modify that as follows. We'll say case 1 will involve an if statement. If the user number is equal to 1, then obviously they just want that one item displayed, which is going to be cout a partridge in a pear tree. But if they entered any other number, then we're going to cout and then I'll just simply copy and paste here a partridge in a pear tree, followed with an end-l statement. Now, we are finished with all of the outputs. So I'm going to hit enter a couple times, and we have to type in break because we don't want to go to the default. See, the default is going to be activated if all of the above is false. If the user enters a number 13, there's no 13 days of Christmas. You only go from 12 on down. So what I'll do is I'll send a statement to the user, invalid input. Go to the beginning of the next line with an end-l statement. And then, of course, we'll break. So that is the end of the switch statement. Now, shall we do this again? Well, it depends on what the user wants to do. So at the end of this switch statement, so here this is going to be the switch statement for user num. I will ask the user, do you want to try again? Yes or no? Let's get that and put that into the variable try again. And then based on that value, if try again is yes, capital Y or lowercase y, then we do this again. Otherwise, you're finished with the program. Okay, so let me save my work. Let's see what happens. I'll run the program. Let me change the font size so that we can see more of the screen. I'm going to move this out of the way so that you can see the code over here. All right, enter the lyric. So let's enter 12. So look at that. Everything from that switch case of 12 all the way down is listed. 12 of this, 11 of this. So look at 2 turtle doves and a partridge in a pear tree. Do you want to try again? Yes, I do. Okay, so now I'm going to enter the lyric number 1. So notice it just says a partridge in a pear tree as opposed to and a partridge in a pear tree because I just want that first lyric. And that's where that if statement comes into consideration. Do I want to try again? Yes. Give me the 25th day of Christmas. Well, there is no 25th day of Christmas for that song. So it's going to come back invalid input. Do you want to try again? N for no. And so we're finished with the program. So the beautiful thing about this particular statement, the switch statement, is if you want to execute something that is found and then everything below that this is your friend. This works with the character. This also works with the integer data type. And that's it. So this is Professor Robert Solis. I hope this video lesson was helpful. Have a good day. We'll see you next time.